All right, let's go back to this one up here that we have. Do this remember here, because now we can actually see the next one thing I want to add. And I want to add a filter up here like I did before with the blur. But in this case, I want to add brightness to it instead. So right now it looks like this, right? It's gray, you can see it, it's all right. But what I want to do is I just want to increase the value of the brightness by 200%. So click Save, go back and remember how this is really grayed out, and now it's definitely more bright in it. Again, you can just mess around with this here also when we're done with this. All right, so that's the next part of this. So the next thing I want to do is I want to go into this span class called gradient here, and I want to add some colors to our our outline color here, whatever you want to call it. So add the gradient class. I don't know where I want to go with that sentence. And in case, like we did before, we're going to use position absolute, if I can spell. There we go. And we're going to just go through all of them. So we're going to start from top. We're going to go left 0 and right 0. It's definitely not in the right order, but whatever. Bottom 0. So that's the first one I want to do. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some colors. So we're going to use background here, and we're going to use the linear gradient in this case. So like we have up here where we used, well, down here actually, where we have our linear gradients with the circle. Now we're just going to use 45 degrees instead. So instead of doing the circle thingy, we do 45 degrees. And the first color I want to use, if we want to create the same one as this one, we can change colors later. We want to create this effect here. I'm using dark green as the first color, then I'm using light green as the second color, yes, light green, and dark green return to that as the last color in this case, right? So let's click Save. Let's see what this does to our code here. So this makes this weird thing, right? So this is our linear gradient from dark to light to dark again. So this definitely doesn't work, right? In case we want to go back to the mix blend mode, and the one we want to use is multiply. And multiply blend mode multiplies the RGB channel numbers for each pixels from the top layer with the values of the corresponding pixels from the bottom layer. So basically they're mixing them together and removing things. So let's do this, let's try this. So we're going to do mix blend mode, and we're going to use the multiply. And again, if you've done this in Photoshop or things like this, you might have an idea on what this will do. So let's click Save, go back, and then this happens instead. So we fit them together with the colors. And again, we can just change these around from green to whatever. I'm just going to copy something in because I'm really lazy and I did this beforehand and I don't want to write. So in this case, whoops, that's not right. I'm going to try to do that again. I have a gold orange. Let's do this and do this. That's much better. So gold, red, orange will create kind of this effect. And if you want to do like I have one with silver. Let's try this. And silver, azure, light blue will create these effects, right? So that's almost gray. It's hard to see. There's a little bit of blue over here. But you can mess around with these things until you get something you kind of feel like you want. I'm going to have one more with blue here. Let's try this, see if that's better. Or we'll just go back to the green one. And I like the green one better. Go back to green. So sticking with this one. Save, go here, and that's kind of how we can create this effect. So in the last video, we're going to add in our animation again and see how we can manipulate to create a little bit more.